Good evening. I'm Sue Minter, and it is such an honor for me tonight to be able to introduce to you this year's recipient of our Kunin Achievement Award, which is given annually to a Democratic woman who has served as an important role model and mentor for other women in their political, professional, and educational pursuits. Gaye Symington has had a profound impact on the political landscape of Vermont. She was first elected to the Vermont House in 1996 and became the House Minority Leader in 2003, because back in those days, Democrats were in the minority. But Gaye decided to change the story. She worked incredibly hard recruiting candidates from all over Vermont to set the stage for enough elected Democrats to retake the House majority in 2004. And that January 2005, she was unanimously elected to be Speaker of the Vermont House, becoming only the second woman in our history to hold that position, something that has changed. I will never forget the palpable excitement, the profound sense of pride that filled the well of the House that day when Gaye took her place at the podium to present her maiden speech. And I remember so well what a difference it made to me as a first-term legislator to see a woman in charge and to know in a very deep way that I belonged in this chamber. You know, the State House truly changed under Gaye's speakership. The Democratic majority in the House continued to expand, as did the number of elected women, and significantly, Gaye elevated the leadership role of women, particularly as the chairs of the money committees, something that is still in place today. Now, Gaye is and was a policy wonk, and her leadership was about sowing many seeds of change during her tenure, from Vermont's clean energy transformation to our embrace of healthcare reform, to enhancing farm viability and village vitality. But in addition to policy, Gaye sought to foster a healthy and respectful work environment at the State House. For one thing, she required all legislators to take sexual harassment trainings, something new and, shall I say, needed. But she also added a new dimension to our daily devotionals by including poets, high school jazz bands, and by honoring through poignant moments of silence each one of our Vermont service members killed in war overseas. Gaye left the House in 2008 to run a courageous gubernatorial campaign, and I can attest to the fortitude and endurance that running for governor requires. But through her humility, her intelligence, and deep love of our state, Gaye Symington has exemplified that true leadership is about stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks on behalf of your community to advance new ideas. I am so thrilled to introduce the winner of Emerge Vermont 2021 Kunin Achievement Award, Gaye Symington.
Thank you so much, Sue. It's really such an honor to be introduced by you, someone who's accomplished so much for Vermont in elected office, in running an agency, and now working every day for low-income Vermonters through Capstone. Thank you. Thank you also to Emerge cabinet members and tonight's other speakers. I'll call out in particular Governor Kunin and Speaker Kowinski as having consistently nudged me out of my comfort zone and had my back through thick and thin. They continue to inspire me. When Joan Lennis first told me about Emerge's decision to honor me, I felt as if she had pulled a dress out of the back of my closet, and one I hadn't worn recently, and it didn't feel all that familiar. Like, does this still fit? Is it still me? In my reaction, I recognized the way it's too easy for many of us to envision political engagement as something that's a little weird or ill-fitting or out of date. It's the same reaction a friend gave recently when I suggested she should include running for office on her eventual to-do list, she shuddered. When I shrink from revisiting a political role, or when my friend cringes at the thought of entering politics, what are we saying? By staying clear of politics, we step back from the responsibility to change how politics can be done. If we leave politics to those who are naturally inclined to it, we end up with exactly the kind of political system that is self-perpetuating and makes us shudder at the thought of running for office. Political service is not the only route to making change. I've been incredibly lucky to have worked for businesses, nonprofits, and now the Vermont Community Foundation, where great people are working for a more sustainable and just future. But without a framework of public policy, regulations, and budgets that work for every Vermonter, those sectors are severely compromised. Politics can make a huge difference when it's set up to listen to and respond to the needs of everyone. That's less likely if leaders are predominantly from a particular booming generation and one race and gender. Diversity of representation matters. On the floor of the Vermont House, I remember how the tenor of the debate would shift when a member spoke from personal experience rather than from statistics or generalities. Whether as a gay Vermonter during debates about marriage equity, as a person of color during discussions of racism at places of employment, as a single mom working for access to high quality childcare, or a millennial speaking to the burden of student debt. I remember a sunny late summer day when I was running for governor. Following Jill's orders, I was circulating among picnickers in Manchester. One family I reached out to was from Connecticut, where at the time Jody Rell was governor. When I introduced myself, their young son asked his parents, "Can boys run for governor too?" His vision of what could be had been constrained by what he saw. When women run for and serve in leadership roles, they change what people see and therefore what they can imagine. That's true when children of color see leaders who look like them, and when young Vermonters see leaders who graduated from high school in this century. It's not enough to ensure diverse candidates can aspire to run. We need to overcome barriers that stand between those aspirations and their success. Emerge's coaching and peer networking benefit the women who participate, and it also allows them to support other women, as when Diane Kirsten Glitman, an Emerge graduate in Jericho, who serves on the Mount Mansfield Union School Board, extended support to the woman who now chairs that board. Other barriers are more uncomfortable to call out, and I don't mean to convey disrespect for Congressman Peter Welch, especially when he said such nice things about me, or his Senate colleagues in Vermont's tiny but mighty federal delegation. Vermont has been well served by their hard work and their values. The economic and social impact of their seniority cannot be lightly dismissed. But Vermont remains the only state in the union that has never elected a woman to serve in Washington. The only way that will change is for one or more of them to step down or for someone to challenge them. Now I can feel the collective shuddering in your Zoom boxes, just like me taking out that old dress, and just like my friend who couldn't see herself in politics. Elections, including primary elections, are an essential part of democracy. If someone decides to step into a primary, I hope the wait your turn or can't be done pundits and skeptics and press will allow a full debate between the benefits of retaining a seasoned and powerful, all male, all white and elderly like me, delegation versus the opportunity to be served by someone who would bring different lived experience and different wisdom to Washington. I'm grateful for this honor and for the chance to speak with you tonight. In the coming election year, I hope you will rein in any shuddering first reaction to stepping into a leadership role yourself, or hearing out and perhaps working hard for someone else who runs for elected office. Thank you.